Hello everyone, Denise here. Today we are doing flat projects with a stitch for November 2022. I am going to be using some of this Lion brand Feels Like Butter Thick and Quick. I picked this up at Walmart. There are a few colors available. They're all pretty muted, and it's pretty decent. I'll show you. It's a chain type yarn. So it should be no splitting and pretty easy to work up quickly. So I'm gonna get started here. Give you the specs on the yarn. It is a super bulky 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 55 yards and 50 meters in this. It's 100% polyester. Calls for a 10 mm hook. So I think I grabbed the wrong one. I have an 8 here. So I'm gonna switch that up. Like I said, I picked this up at Walmart. The color is Wood Rose. I do have a gray also. I'm gonna see if one of these will make a hat. All right, I have my 10 mm hook. Going to start. This stitch is worked up in multiples of 2. And then once you get your multiples of 2, the width of your project that you like, then you add 3. So I am going to make a hat, so I'm going to see if I can fit it around my head. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain until I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I'm going to try that on my head. A little tight. I'm going to go a few more. I'm going to go up to 34. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I actually could go a couple more, really. You leave it at 34, so I chain 34. Now I need to add 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another double crochet in that same space. Okay, we're going to skip 1 chain and put 2 double crochet in the next. We're going to do that across. Skip 1, put 2 in the next, 2 double crochet in the next. Gonna knot my yarn, take that out. Okay, so skip 1, 2 in the next. Skip 1, 2 double crochet in the next. Do that all the way across. Once we get to the end, I'll show you what you do. Okay, so we're going to skip one stitch. We have 2 left. We're going to put 2 in the second chain from the end, and then put 1 double crochet in the last chain. Chain 1 and turn. So for row 2, we are going to start with a single crochet in this first space right here. We are going to chain 1. We are going to skip these 2 double crochets and put a single crochet in this space in between the 2 double crochets. So you can see the V stitches here. We're going to go in between the 2 V stitches with a single crochet. We're going to chain 1, single crochet in between the next 2. Chain 1, single crochet in between the next 2. Chain 1, single crochet in between the next 2 all the way across. Okay, we're to the end here. We chained 1, so now we're going to put a single crochet in this last chain 3 from the previous row, because we want to match what we did on this side. We did a single crochet, and then we chained 1, we went in between. So we went in between, we chained 1, and we single crocheted. So now we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to put a single crochet in this first stitch again, and then we're going to put a single crochet in the chain 1 space that we have right next to it we just made. This chain 1 space right here, single crochet. Then we are going to chain 1 and put a single crochet in each chain 1 space. Chain 1, single crochet in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, single crochet. This is seed stitch or moss stitch or linen stitch, many names. And this first row here are V stitches, so it's a combination of the 2. So we're just going to alternate that for the entire pattern. We're going to do a row of V stitches and 3 rows of moss linen or seed stitch. And there are other variations that we could do, but we're gonna focus on what I just said. 1 row of V, 3 rows of seed stitch. Okay, nearing the end here. This pattern is very easy to memorize as well. It also looks fantastic with a yarn I'll show you. Make sure you're putting a single crochet in that chain 1 space, and then make sure you put a single crochet in that last stitch. Okay, that was 2 rows of the linen seed moss stitch. So we're going to do 1 more. Chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to do another row of that. This row will be a little bit different. It will be the same as this one. So we are going to put a single crochet in this first stitch. Since we did a single crochet last row, this row we chain 1, and then we put the single crochet in that chain 1 space. Remember, we always want to mirror whatever we did on this end on the other end. So we're going to do that all the way across. Okay, at the end here you will chain one and then put a single crochet in your last stitch. Okay, now we're going to chain 3 and we are going to do our V-stitch row. And that will be 2 double crochets in this first chain 1 space. 2 double crochets in every chain 1 space across the row. Very easy. And with fuzzier yarns, you can just feel the chain 1 space. You don't have to see it. You could just put your fingers there and feel it. Okay, towards the end here, you want to make sure you have 2 double crochets in that chain 1 space before the end, and then 1 double crochet in that last stitch. Okay, so now your repeat's going to be the same. You're going to do the 3 rows of moss / linen / seed stitch. So the first row, we chain 1, put a single crochet in this first stitch. We chain 1, we go in between our 2 V stitches. Do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet all the way across that row. When you get to the end of that first row, you will chain 1. You will not put a single crochet in between those 2. You will just put a single crochet in that last stitch, that last chain 3. For the second row of seed stitch, you will chain 1, turn your work, and the second row, you will put a single crochet in that first stitch. We did a chain 1 on our last row, so now we're going to put a single crochet in that chain 1. And then we are going to chain 1 and put a single crochet in each of the chain 1 spaces of the previous row. When you get to the end of the second row of seed stitch, you will do a single crochet in your chain 1 space and put a single crochet in your last stitch because you want to match the other end. And then that third row of the seed stitch is the same as the first. The only difference between the first row and the third row is that the third row you will be working in to chain 1 spaces, and that first row you're going in between the V-stitches. So it's the same thing. You will do a single crochet in your first stitch. You will chain 1 and put a single crochet in that chain 1 space all the way across. And then you'll repeat the next row will be at the V-stitch row. A very beautiful stitch. I love the contrast between the V-stitches and the seed stitch. Very beautiful. I do not know if I'm going to have enough yarn to actually finish a hat. This is all I have left. There are only 55 yards, 50 meters in this. So I may get a couple of more rows out of this. I will keep working. And if I do not, I will make up another hat in a different yarn. So this next row would be a V-stitch row. So we are going to chain 3 and put 2 double crochets in that first chain 1 space. And 2 double crochets in each of the chain 1 spaces all the way across. This is all I have left. So I do not think this will make a complete hat here. No. I will put it on my head and see if I cinched it, what would happen. I mean, yeah, I think it would work just slightly short. So we'll see how many rows of seed stitch I can get out of this, and it could make a hat. I'll see. So this is all I have left. I still need to sew up the side. So I may not have enough to cinch it actually, because I don't think this is enough to sew up. I'm gonna pull through. Then I'm going to run the yarn through the top here and see if I can save enough yarn to sew up the side. We'll see. So what I like to do when I'm running the yarn through is just go into the easiest space that won't give you resistance. so you can cinch it. Easy enough. Pretty sure most of us have at least done this with a draw bag or a different hat pattern. Just want to see if I have enough yarn to sew up the side, because if I do, I will probably leave this as is. And that would be pretty cool to get a hat out of one of these balls of yarn. I think I will. I'm just guessing I'm gonna. Okay. So if I am to cinch it, yeah, definitely have enough to go up the side. See that? So I'm going to connect it here to this other side where I started and keep pulling until that is closed. Okay, and you can put a pom-pom on there if you want. It's up to you. I may have one that matches this, maybe a gray one. I'm going to put a stitch in here to help it stop from unraveling that hole that I just cinched. Now I think I'll turn it inside out and put these sides together and close it up. This yarn is very nice. It's very soft. I think I like this a lot better than the original Feels Like Butter. It seems to keep its shape and does not go flat, which I appreciate. The original one, I like it. I just don't love it. I think I like this one more. You just whip stitch, or however you want to sew your hat together, all the way down. This stitch is pretty forgiving because it is so different on every row that it won't be too easy to recognize where you sewed it up. To others. To you, yes. To others, probably not. Getting to the end here, and I'm going to weave in the two ends. So I have the end from where I started. Okay. So, just gonna dive in, get this zipped up in here. And then we're going to take a look at the hat and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to take some measurements on it to see who this is going to fit. Because I am wondering what the measurement from crown to eyebrow will be on this. And that will be the deciding factor on who I would recommend to wear. There's actually a whole line of yarn left here. And it is stuck on my needle. I have to cut that. Ah, nope, got it off. Okay, I'm gonna weave this one in. See how it's a chain? Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get the needle. Is this one bigger? Yep. Okay. Not going to cut these off because I'm going to felt it with my felting needle, but I want to take some measurements. So since we cinched the top here, we did lose some height. Measure that. Let me get my tape measure. 7 inches, not bad. So typically for an adult hat, you would want about 8 inches, but depending on the adult, 7 inches may work for this one. Let me take a look on my head. Wow. So this hits exactly to my eyebrow. So with the stretch that is in this yarn, it actually fits me. So, I mean, if you want to give it a whirl, definitely you could get a smaller head hat out of this ball of yarn. But if you had two, you could probably end up making two smaller hats with maybe a small pom-pom if you wanted to. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Like I said, I picked this up at Walmart. I want to grab another hat just a second. So I found a pom-pom that would probably work nice with this. Put it on top like this. And then if the hat is not big enough, like I said, you could pick up another skein of this yarn and you could do the ribbing around the bottom with this. And I think that would look pretty nice together. And if you don't have a pom-pom that's faux fur like this, you could make one out of this. So 2 balls of yarn will definitely make you an adult size hat with this yarn. And I think that would be awfully adorable as well. So I wanted to show you when you have a hat that you are making flat, you want it to be the similar size of this for an adult. And this is pretty darn close. But what I wanted to point out, this has a little more height here on the end. What I wanted to point out is when you're making a hat that is flat, you want to make sure that you have enough length from where your brow is going to be all the way to the top, that when you cinch it, you still have the length that you need for the top of the head to the eyebrow. So you always got to make sure that you have enough. So once you cinch that, you're going to gather up and you're going to lose a little bit there. You know, you're going to lose a little bit of this length by cinching. So you just want to make sure that you always double check to make sure you have the length that you need. And this is that same pattern, but there is only 1 row of the seed stitch in between, and that's very nice looking as well. So keep those ideas in mind. The stitch flat is, like I said, it is 1 row of V-stitch, 3 rows of seed stitch, and then another row of V-stitch, and you just continue that along. I did want to show you what I did with some mandala ombre. So this is changing colors with that. And this is the V, and this is seed, 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 and V. And then 3 rows of the seed stitch in white. So you can do that and change colors with your project. And you don't have to cut each end. You can carry it up. You will want to put an edging on your project. And you don't have to end on the same row. Let me show you here. Let me grab a hook. So you don't have to end on the same color of row. You can just leave it hanging. Let's say you did this row and now you want to start with blue. So instead of starting this end with blue, just pick up your blue from the previous row. So how you would do that is put your hook in the last stitch and just gently pull up the yarn and pull through. And this next one would be, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3 of seeds. So this would be the double crochet row. So you would chain 3. Don't have any yarn, but that's what you would do. It's very easy to change color. You don't have to cut your yarn every single time. You can just carry up the side, and then if you want to, put a single crochet edging around your project. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Next week on Friday, we will be doing this pattern in the round for circular projects. So if you want to do fingerless gloves or hats in the round or cowls, this project will be done next Friday. I'll show you how to do that. In the meantime, go ahead and make yourself as many projects as you want with the stitch and the flat. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Take care. And until next time, guys.